My goodness. What was that? You know, I don't have an answer. I don't have an answer for what happened. I don't know why they're doing what they're doing. I just can't make sense of the chaotic way this company books their television show. I don't understand it. None of it makes any sense. None of it. So what happens now, chat? We get a triple threat match? We get a triple threat match. Oh, man, that's everybody's solution to the fucking problem, right? Triple threat match? Triple threat match. Everybody wants a triple threat. Triple threat this, triple threat that. If that was the case, why did you take the title off of him? Kenny Omega dethrones MJF. He just won the title back from Darby Allin back in May. He lost it in front of 3,000 people on a beach in St. Petersburg, Florida. Can't get any more WCW than that. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to the beer garden. We got a lot to talk about. And when I get there on this Wednesday night, I want to know, what the fuck are you guys drinking? I'll see you over there. It also isn't about excuses. WWE has failed creatively. AEW has failed fundamentally. So why did Triple H lose the plot? Why did Tony Khan abandon everything that made AEW special? Because nobody is committed to the one thing that actually matters. Long-term booking. What is going on, guys? Thank you so very much for joining us right here on Off the Script. This is your AEW Dynamite post show for your July 8th, 2026. I'm your host, JD from New York, as always, coming to you live from the OTS Beer Garden. Thank you guys so very much for joining us on this Wednesday evening, wherever you may be, joined by the one and only, the man who got himself a beautiful new mic arm so he doesn't have to hold his mic this week, the Chi-Town Smark. Jesse, what's going on, brother?
Not much, bro. How you feel, man?
Good, man. It's looking good over there, man. Looking good.
Yeah. That wasn't my mic arm I was holding, by the way. That was,
Oh, your microphone you were holding. Yes, I apologize.
It was. big black and long.
Yeah, a little stressed out last week. I know.
Yeah.
Listen, man, I know you're becoming the reaction guy on YouTube, right? So, House of Glory is streaming on YouTube on August 7th. High intensity, man. You gonna do a live reactions?
Hey, man. If I can get permission from Brian, I will show it on my channel, man.
I mean, I don't know why. I don't know why you won't be able to do that. It's streaming on YouTube for free. You don't even have to pay for it.
I'll be right there, brother, singing the good word.
There you go. Let's get a round of applause for that one. Look at that. Yeah, there you go.
Get it. Maybe I can get some exclusive rights.
I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know.
I'm down, bro. You want to join me?
No, I'll be there. What are you talking about? You'll be hearing me on the other end.
Oh, that's right. That's right. That's right.
We are coming to Chicago, though, on the 26th of September. We're coming back.
Wait a minute. This is a lot of dates, man. Let me pull up my notepad.
Pull out the Rolodex, man.
Yeah. I need a new sheet here. Hold on. Okay, when is the YouTube show?
August 7th, high intensity. Biggest show that we put on all year.
August 7th?
Yeah.
Right on. And you're coming back here on September
26th, Friday.
26th. I got you down, man.
There you go.
Oh.
I don't know where I'm staying. I don't know if I'm staying in the city or if I'm staying in Wicker Park again. I don't really know yet. I got to see what the prices are. Hopefully, it's past the tourist season, you know?
If it's warm in Chicago, it's tourist season, man.
Hopefully it's hoodie weather then.
Nobody likes to come here in the winter. So in the summer is our tourist season.
Okay. We'll see.
So.
All right, man. Let's get down to fucking business here. This was a good episode of Dynamite.
Okay, good. I was worried about the shit on the show. Like, what the?
Nah. The women's match was like, oh my god. It was probably the worst gauntlet match that AEW's put on. But other than that, everything else was really, really, really good stuff.
The worst and the best at the same time.
Yes, because we had Thekla, Jesse, on commentary.
Thekla was drunk and in rare form.
Yes.
Loved it.
Yes, and she said it while she was drinking her Mai Tai or whatever she was drinking. She said verbatim, "I don't even think Willow was injured." well, thanks, Thekla. Thank you for telling us everybody here in the chat exactly what we all kind of assumed anyway. So it's like, all right, Tony's probably on commentary like, "Shh, no, you're not supposed to say that."
That's so good. You could tell she was 3 sheets to the wind.
Yes. I mean, listen, man, it's hot. You got to stay cool.
Yeah.
Whatever, man. This was a good episode of Dynamite. This was, to me, one of the better venues that they've ever run. I love a beach setting, regardless. I love me some water and some palm trees and some sand. But I thought the aesthetics of the show were great, especially when the sun was setting. And you got to see that sun setting, and then everything just kind of went to the nighttime. I love that. You get to see the time of the day change outside. It had a similar feel to Daly's Place, but it was a little bit more kind of wide open. And and they had the stage set up with the lifeguard chairs and the sand and the beach balls and the sand buckets. They really did a great job of making you feel like this was fitting for the setting that they were in. So this was a good episode. Yeah.
It had Bash at the Beach vibe.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. So I thought they hit a home run there. Love that. More theme shows should be a thing in pro wrestling. Tony Khan has done a very good job with that. The last time that AEW had a theme show, they were on a golf course, and Darby Allin and Pac were fighting in a sandpit, so or a bunker on the golf course. So that was really cool. So more theme shows. I always appreciate them because we don't get enough of them. And WWE is so not fun that they would never in 1,000 lifetimes do something like this in front of 3,000 people. They are too corporate. So they don't know how to have any fun. Fun to them is fucking sitting in a darkened room counting their fucking money. That's what their fun is.
You think SummerSlam will have the whole beach thing?
Nah.
In Minneapolis.
That's exactly what I think of, bro. Summer in Minneapolis.
Summer in Minneapolis, bro.
Yeah.
There you go, man.
Yeah. No, they won't. They won't do anything over the top. There won't be a beach chair or sand or a beach ball. Fans would be throwing a beach ball, and then security would swiftly take the beach ball away and deflate it right there in front of whoever was throwing it around.
Swiftly take it.
Yeah.
There was somebody in my chat had a good idea. They because they had the beach ball here going around at Beach Break. It's fitting. They're having fun. The fans are loving it. Great. It would have been great if they'd have had Claudio come out and try to chase down the beach ball.
Yeah, I know. That would have been. How many people would have gotten that reference? Me and you would have gotten the reference, but
yeah, we would have gotten it.
But all in all, this was a very good show from top to bottom. Outside the women's gauntlet match, I did not like the women's gauntlet match, and I think you and I and everybody really kind of predicted it. Me and Jason talked about it on Tuesday Night Titans last night that Willow was going to win, and they're probably setting up Willow versus Mercedes at Wembley Stadium. We'll get into that, but we had Jericho, Ciampa, we had Kyle Fletcher and Takeshita, we had MJF and Kenny Omega for the World Championship. Good show. I think you and I both agree, but I'm going to pass the ball off to you, Jesse, to take us into the topic that you want to talk about, the biggest takeaway, which I'm assuming it's going to be what happened at the end. I know I have a lot to say, so I'll let you start off with what you feel about how AEW went off the air tonight.
All right. So before you get started and before your naysay crew here in the chat, look, so MJF lost the world title to Kenny Omega, and nobody knows why. All right. It feels like that before they even have a second to explain what's going on, why it's going on, can MJF actually even make the trip to London for whatever reasons? We don't know what the reason is as to why MJF lost the title to Kenny Omega right before Allin, because for all intents and purposes, it makes sense that that MJF should be the world champion going into your biggest show of the year. It just makes sense. So it makes so much sense to the point where it's not happening, at least as of right now, that I'm of the belief that there must be an underlying reason. Not even Tony Khan woke up this morning and said, I'm going to take the title off of my best guy right before our biggest show. Why? I don't know. I'm just fucking bored. So I'm of the belief there is a fucking reason. What the reason is, we don't know yet. And so since we don't know, the default is shit on it. We don't know yet. Maybe it's a triple threat match that would not make any sense unless this was their way of getting Max. Unless it was easier to get Max into the triple threat than it would be to get Kenny into the set match.
Jesse, it's okay to say the triple threat match doesn't make sense, because if the triple threat match was the way that they were going to go for Wembley Stadium, there was absolutely no logical reason to take the belt off of MJF. It's yours. I'm just trying to add to what you're saying.
Let me finish then.
There's no reason to take the belt off him.
Okay, then you go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm
going
to mute myself. I'm going to mute myself. Go ahead.
Jeez. Now, I'm of agreement that it doesn't make any sense to take the title off of him just to make a triple threat, unless, and now that I get to fucking finish, unless their logic is, well, MJF lost his title and he gets the quote unquote rematch clause and he inserts it at fucking Allin, and that's how he gets in. Because otherwise, how do we get Kenny Omega into the triple threat? If the triple threat is somehow the end all be all goal and they have to make it a triple threat, how do you get Kenny Omega into the match at Allin? Well, how do you get MJF in? Guarantee rematch clause, and he wants it at All Out or at Allin. That is the way they would get MJF into the match. Now, that does seem a little fucking convoluted to take the title off of MJF just so we can implement a rematch clause and get him into the match at Allin, and then have Will Ospreay win it at Allin. Like, you just played hot potato with the fucking title. Now, that is the part right there I can agree that makes no fucking sense. But the only thing I can think of, if we're talking about a triple threat, the only thing I can fucking think of is rematch clause implemented. he gets inserted into the match. Now it's a triple threat. But at the same time, is there another reason? I mean, are we sure MJF is even going to Wembley? Is there another reason that he can't make the card and they want the title on the show? All shit that we just don't know the fucking answer to right now. It may come up later. It may show up on Meltzer and Alvarez tomorrow morning, and then we all fucking know. We may find out in next week's show. We don't fucking know. But I am willing to believe that he didn't just do it just because he was fucking bored. That he didn't just take the title off of MJF just because he doesn't want MJF on his show. Just because he figured it would look cooler around Kenny Omega at All In. There has to be a fucking reason. We just don't know what it is yet. And a lot of the times as wrestling fans, we're too impatient to wait and find out what the fucking reason is. And then when we find out and it makes sense, then we're all backtracking. We don't know what the reason is. I agree that it makes no sense. I would leave MJF as champion going into the biggest fucking show. Now, it's not like they put it on a jobber. So we get Kenny Omega versus Will Ospreay. All right, that would be great. MJF will be a better match. But I'm sure for some reason, either it's not happening or they have a way of putting them in there. We just don't know what the fuck it is yet.
We came into 2026 after a absolutely dismal and downright awful 2025 in AEW. MJF is the world champion, and things are starting to really kind of flow. Things are really starting to get better. We had an unbelievable top of the card with him as the champion. We had Adam Page, we had Kenny Omega, we had Andrade, we had Swerve Strickland, we had Will Ospreay on his way back. John Moxley's always there, Okada, Kyle Fletcher. You can plug in 8 or 9 guys. And MJF had someone gunning, Samoa Joe. MJF had someone gunning for him at every twist and turn. I even told him personally that this is the best the AEW world title scene has ever been. And it's because of him. Now, I don't want to sound like an MJF mark, even though we are, but MJF taking the championship and taking Dynamite and taking the company and putting the company theoretically on his back after a terrible year last year, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says, last year's creative was awful. They were down in every metric, but when MJF became the champion, Tony Khan immediately saw people return. Tony Khan immediately saw ratings go up. Tony Khan immediately saw attendance figures go up slowly. They're not where they need to be. They're still running fucking venues and not selling them out 2,000, 2,500. I mean, if they were doing good, they would be in the 5, 6, 7,000 range. They're not. And they're never going to get back there because they don't have a major name like a Punk or a Roman or someone like that. But MJF was the catalyst for an upswing in the company. Momentum, better TV, more cohesive booking, legitimate world title feel, legitimate world title aspirations. He came with all that. Then we go into Double or Nothing. And 4 weeks before Double or Nothing, they take the belt off of MJF and they beat him on a low blow in 90 seconds. I question then, why did they do that? You got MJF, who is realistically your biggest star, and he is. He's bigger than Ospreay, he's bigger than Moxley, he's bigger than everybody. Everybody there is not MJF, because MJF is the catalyst. MJF is the feeling that these people talk about, restoring the feeling. He said it tonight himself. That is MJF. He is the last beacon of what the old AEW is. It lives in him. They take the belt off of him, and they put it on Darby Allin. They put it on Darby Allin because Darby was getting married. Tony Khan wanted to gift him something before he got married. He was supposed to be at the main event of All In last year, and he was supposed to be the one to beat Jon Moxley, but he opted to climb a mountain and prepare for that. So that moment passed him by. So Tony wanted to put this all together in about a week or two, give MJF and Darby a match, give Darby the world title, with MJF winning it back in New York because he wanted to pay Darby back for what he did. And he figured, let's crown MJF back in New York. It'll be a good moment. Now, Double or Nothing ended up being the best wrestling show out of every show we've seen this year, all year. So I'm not complaining about the show. Everything they did was great. But taking the belt off MJF 4 weeks before the pay-per-view, only to belt him again at the pay-per-view, was a mistake. It is creative laziness. And I don't care if MJF tells me or Tony tells me or whoever tells me, let it breathe. Let's see how it plays out. No, it was a mistake. Because the way that I personally see things is when you are riding the hot hand and you are riding the catalyst for better television and upswing in ticket sales and ratings and everything else, every other metric, interest, social media engagement, you don't take the belt off of that guy. I'm sorry. Until someone else is going to come along and do the same exact thing MJF did or better, you don't take the belt off of MJF. Us wrestling fans, we are very vocal. When we are tired of something, we will let you know. When we don't want to see someone, we will let you know. When we want change, we will let you know. None of that happened with MJF. They put the belt on him, and we go into this situation where we go into tonight. So that happened in the third week of May. We go through June, and we're in the beginning of July here. They make this match with Kenny Omega. Kenny Omega wants his redemption. He wants another shot. At Dynasty, MJF beat Kenny Omega in a great match. They're rematching again tonight. I don't understand, before we even get to the outcome tonight, why this match took place on this show. What was the hastiness to book this match on this show, on this night, in this moment, this week? Why couldn't we wait? You're 2 weeks before the pay-per-view. Why couldn't you get this third match at the pay-per-view? I don't understand that. In Montreal, with a hot crowd, cheering for the Canadian, with MJF, who's going to play the American villain here and go against MJF in Canada. It's just a perfect story to tell as he walks in to enemy territory as the champion. And we've seen him do that before, and that's where he excels best. He did it with Ospreay in Wembley. He did it with Mystico in Mexico. Why did you waste that moment? That's the way I look at it. So we did this match for absolutely no reason. And instead of doing it at the pay-per-view, which would have made more sense than anything, MJF and Kenny Omega could have had the same stipulation at the pay-per-view. If you wanted Kenny Omega to be having his back against the wall, he's got to beat MJF, otherwise he gets no more championship matches, which has been a stipulation that they've done over and over again. It's become an MJF thing now. They could have come up with a way to make the triple threat match at Wembley Stadium make sense. The fact that they did this match now and took the belt off of him tonight again for a second time in 2 months. Now the triple threat match doesn't make sense. And now we are looking at a Wembley Stadium show without MJF going into the main event. Why does he need a triple threat match now? How does he get into the triple threat match? Anything that they do from this point on doesn't make sense. The one thing that they had on their plate, Jesse, is MJF retaining the championship by hook or by crook and walking into Wembley as the champion. That way, Ospreay gets what he wants. He gets a main event at Wembley in his hometown with the guy he wants in Kenny Omega, and he can pin MJF at the pay-per-view. That would have been understandable. That would have been all right. But for a company who is desperately trying to hang on to any sort of relevance and try and gain that lapsed fan back, this company has not seen 1 million viewers since year one. I don't understand why you would take the belt off of the one guy that has gotten you as close as ever to 1 million viewers a week to put it on Kenny Omega because Will Ospreay and Kenny Omega is some sort of weird fetish by Tony Khan for the main event of Allin. I don't understand it. And you said it best, and I repeated it to Coach. I repeated it to Jason on TNT. MJF is this company's Roman Reigns. And I understand that Roman shouldn't be main eventing every fucking WrestleMania until the day he retires. That's boring. But MJF has absolutely earned the right for what he's done this year alone to be in the main event of Wembley. And now that we're looking at him possibly not being in the main event of Wembley, as a fan, Jesse, I look at this as fucking absolutely retarded booking. This is just absolutely, it doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. I feel bad for MJF, and I'm sure he'll probably tell me, just let it play out, let it play out. I don't have any hope for him being in a major match at Wembley Stadium, and I'm terrified that we're going to go into Wembley Stadium with him wrestling Mick Foley. Or something that's less than what he's been doing, because he certainly earned the right to be in the main event. That's what I have to say about that.
You are the most overly dramatic person I've ever met in my life.
I'm just telling you how it is. I put myself in the chair of a booker. I would never make that decision. I would have never made this decision. I would have never even booked this match to begin with tonight.
I've already said what I thought about it. Now I'm just gonna ask a couple of questions based on what you just said. So, by your logic, when is it ever okay for MJF to lose that title?
When it makes sense.
When, according to you?
Yes, when it makes sense.
You need to run your own wrestling company, sir.
What do you think we do here? We analyze in fantasy book.
Things don't happen the way according you want them to. So at one point, is it okay for MJF to lose the title? Because if you just keep him champion for years upon years, that gets stale. And it also has fatigue. And it's also hard for him to come back from that after you take the title off of him.
Jesse, he lost as the world champion twice to Darby and Kenny Omega in the span of 2 months.
Follow me. According to your logic, when is it okay for him to lose the title?
Everybody expected him to lose the title at Wembley to Will Ospreay.
All right. Now, and I'm going off a couple of things that I'm seeing right here. MJF has a knee injury, correct? What if he can't make it to Wembley? What if his knee injury needs surgery?
I am not at liberty to say if he's injured or not. He wrestled tonight he's not injured.
I'm not asking you. I'm asking you, what if that injury is more severe than they anticipated and he can't make that match in Wembley and he needs to go down for surgery? Would that make sense to you then as to why he dropped the title tonight?
It's a possibility. But he wrestled tonight like he did not have a knee injury.
Right. But feel me out, though. So there could be a couple of reasons as to why maybe this result happened. My point is, we don't know yet. We could find out tomorrow. We could find out next week. But to say it was, as you put it, retarded, and we don't even know the actual reason yet, is kind of naive. No?
Jesse, you do realize that, you know, you're speaking, and I get what you're saying. You're speaking as if MJF has had a stranglehold on the AEW World Championship like Roman Reigns for 1,400 days. You do realize that he hasn't been the world champion since 2023. We went into it. They gave him the championship to rehabilitate the company, and they ended up having him drop the title twice in the same calendar year, and we're only in month 7, bro.
I know this, but you speak as though nobody else knows that MJF is the top guy in this company but you. Like, don't you think that they are aware that he is the best draw?
No, I don't, bro. I don't.
You think that they think that someone else is the top player.
Ospreay is the flavor of the month, bro. What are you watching? Tony is going all in on Ospreay. MJF is being moved down, bro.
Okay.
Ospreay's the top guy now. They couldn't wait to let everybody know that.
Okay, then why wouldn't they just have MJF lose to Ospreay then?
That's what I'm asking you. That's what I'm telling you.
What I'm trying to get you to maybe possibly remotely understand is that there could be a different reason that we are unaware of as to why this title change happened now instead of at Wembley.
You're running with the injury angle.
I'm running with there is an underlining reason. I'm saying it could be this, it could be this, it could be this, but it's not, oh, MJF is washed up, man. We got to bury him down and put Kenny Omega up there. That's not it. I think that's the most absurd thing I've heard you say in a very fucking long time.
What is absurd? What did I say in my monologue that was absurd?
What you just said just now is that you think that they are just putting him down and bringing up Ospreay, and
yes,
they're just burying MJF now.
Yes, I have private messages from people who work there that told me that same thing.
Was that in your monologue?
It's over, bro. It's over.
Was that in your monologue?
No, it wasn't.
So now new shit's coming up later that I'm making a point. Now we get different information now.
Ospreay's the top guy now, bro. MJF is not the top guy anymore. A top guy doesn't lose the championship twice in a single year. You'd never see Cody or Roman lose the championship more than twice in a single fucking year, bro. You wouldn't.
Then
I'm sorry.
Why do we need Kenny Omega then? Why not just have?
Because Ospreay wants Omega in the main event. This is what he wants. This is his show. He didn't want to work MJF.
Is there any more new information that we are unaware of?
He did not want to work MJF, bro. He's been there, done that twice already, which is mind-boggling to me because the last two matches they had are two of the best matches that the company's ever done.
Spill the tea. What else?
I'm not spilling nothing.
What else?
I'm not spilling nothing. Come on, man. You cannot defend. If you wanted this to happen, then it should have happened where it mattered most. Not on a fucking beach in St. Petersburg, Florida, in front of 3,000 people in 100-degree heat. Come on, man.
My stance is we don't know. Your stance is you already fucking know.
Bro, he wasn't even that injured when the injury happened. We were told by fucking Dementia Dave himself.
You gotta fill me in, bro. I don't know what you know. You gotta let me know.
I'll let you know off the air. The injury wasn't as serious. It wasn't as serious. I don't know why they continue to let him wrestle to even risk the injury getting worse even further. My point is the match tonight should have never happened. Everything that they did tonight should have led to a non-finish and something that is captivating for us to lead into the next Wembley show. Everything that happened tonight should have just taken place at the pay-per-view. Tonight wasn't the setting to do that. Tony made the decision tonight to do this match for whatever reason because he's on this kick about doing title matches on regular TV. He feels like the fans, he said it in some radio interview, that he wants to give back to the fans that don't have enough money to buy the pay-per-views. That's why he gives a lot of title matches on Dynamite or Collision. And I don't know why the AEW Championship, and I'm going to mention the WWE Championship as well, why we're getting so many World Championship matches. I don't mind a good World Championship match when it makes sense on television, but the fact that we've seen more this year than any other year previously that I can remember, it's a little odd. And CM Punk just won the WWE Championship on Monday Night Raw. You don't think that Tony wanted to at least steal some of the thunder away from Punk and WWE by crowning a new champion himself on Dynamite? You know that had to play a factor.
I don't. You tell me. I don't know.
I'm asking your opinion. It's a logical, sound one.
My opinion means nothing when you come back and tell me you got inside fucking information that you didn't tell me about. So you just tell me what the answer is. I don't fucking know. I give you my opinion like, well, I got information that says otherwise. Well, motherfucker, lead with that. I don't know.
I don't.
You tell me.
I'm reaching. I'm not reaching. Both companies are reactionary to each other. Why would that be reaching? You don't think one company makes a decision based off what the other company's doing? Of course they do. They counter-program each other all the time. It's a mistake, bro. At the end of the day, it's a mistake. You don't cuck out your world champion like that twice in the span of 2 months. You don't. You don't. I'm sorry. Maybe he's not coming back. Maybe Tony realizes that he's not coming back. I don't know. Nothing makes sense. Did he just resign MJF? I don't know.
Didn't they just re-sign MJF like a year ago?
Nah, it's been more than that. It's been more than that.
No, it was 2 years. It was the bidding war of 2024.
Yes.
So, I mean, they're done with him. 2 years into this new deal, they're like, okay.
I don't know. I'm sure he's making a pretty penny. Maybe they signed him to an extra 3-year extension. I don't know.
I didn't know that MJF was being phased out.
I don't want to say he's being phased out. I mean, it would be stupid to phase him out. I'd keep him. I mean, he's done so much for this fucking place. Why would you phase him out? Because he may have some other career opportunities present itself.
I don't know. You tell me.
I don't know. I'm asking you.
I say, and then you say, I know otherwise. I don't know what you know. You got to tell me. You said they're pushing him down the card. Your words, not mine.
Bro, Ospreay is the man now. They're running with Ospreay. Ospreay apparently is their fucking Lord and Savior. Ospreay ain't going to draw fucking... he's not going to draw a dime for this place.
I did not know this. This is news to me, chat.
It's a mistake to take the belt off him. Everything that happened tonight should have been saved for the pay-per-view. A triple threat match doesn't make sense. He's at least earned the right to drop the title at Wembley. Like after all the teases we got too with MJF and Ospreay, they built that match up better, and it wasn't even officially announced. We had no main event announced, and they put together a string of promos that got me more excited about that match, and we had to go through this Kenny Omega match tonight. The promo they cut together tonight was better than most of the shit that we saw tonight. And it wasn't even for a match that we're going to see.
I am giving you what I think could be happening because I don't know. Your comeback is you already know. I did not know this information. I would have worked with
I'm asking you to have a thought, bro. I'll tell you what I know after the show is over. I'm asking you to have a thought.
That was my thought. And then you say it makes no sense because of what you know. Like, I don't know.
All right, how would you have booked it? How would you have booked it differently? Being that we both are in agreement that whatever happened tonight was a mistake. How would you have booked it differently?
I would have had Max lose to Will Ospreay at Wembley.
Okay. But you just told me moments ago, how long do you want him to hold the belt?
Yes. What's that got to do with it? That's my question to you.
Yes, and I came back and said he hasn't been the champion since 2023.
Okay. But the reason I asked that question is because per your logic, nobody should be taking that title off of Max. Because there's Ospreay.
We understood Ospreay, bro. We understood Ospreay was going to be the one to take the belt off. If they wanted to include Kenny Omega, that's fine.
I would have had the match at Wembley with Max and Ospreay. I didn't know that Ospreay did not want to work with Max. I didn't know that MJF was being phased down the ladder. This is information I didn't know.
I didn't say it was being phased down the ladder. I just said that
that shit's on the internet. They can rewind it.
Political reasons, bro.
It's right there on the internet, bro.
He's not being phased. That's my opinion. I've been saying that for weeks now.
It's okay. The people watching this shit later can just zoom on back and see it's exactly what you said.
So you would do MJF and Ospreay one-on-one, no Omega.
Yeah. Kenny Omega, he was a non-factor.
But they included Kenny Omega in the build here. Omega is wanting his redemption.
I would the money match is MJF and Will Ospreay at Wembley.
You're against the triple threat.
I wouldn't. You asked me what I would do. I would not book a triple threat. Okay. I would do one-on-one. Okay. That's what I would do. I'm trying to guess what they're doing, but I would just do Will Ospreay and MJF at Wembley. Why they had MJF lose to Kenny Omega tonight is what I was trying to speculate as to maybe why they're doing it. But ultimately, I was trying to say that we don't know what the reason is. I also said maybe it's injury. I said that maybe it's triple threat. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's that. And then you told me what you knew, which negated what I thought. I didn't know what you already know.
How you know?
Now, how you know? How you know?
What? Watch your mouth. Who are you talking to?
Find me at a meet and greet, bitch.
Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to?
Marquise. Who the fuck you think you talking to, bitch?
Who? I don't see him. Get him out of the chat.
I just did.
Get him out of the chat. There. Oh, is this him? No, it's Oh, this guy Jesse's annoying as AF, bro. Is that him?
No, Marquis 7809.
I don't know.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on for sure.
Moving
on. That's what happened on Dynamite.
Bitch, fuckers.
I thought you usually have the chat closed. What are you looking at the chat for?
No, but I don't want my game spoiled. Yeah, I do.
Don't even look at the chat. Oh, man. All right, we'll get into the review. MJF lost the championship to Kenny Omega. We'll go over how that happened. Kyle Fletcher's
bitch. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Kyle Fletcher's the new international champion, and he beat Takeshita tonight. There's a reason why Takeshita lost the championship, and we'll talk about that as well. And then Ciampa and Jericho had a very good match, and probably Jericho's best match since coming back to WWE. Or WWE, since coming back to AEW. Now I'm fucking all over the place. Coming back to AEW, Ciampa's the type of guy he needs to work with. I thought that was great, what they did, and they really started the show off really good tonight. We're going to get into everything tonight on this Dynamite Beach Break episode, and then we have the Gauntlet match. Willow Nightingale returned. She is the number one contender to Thekla at Redemption, and we'll talk about that as well, with that being the weakest match on the show tonight. This is your AEW Dynamite post show right here on Off the Script. Thank you guys very much for joining us. And I got a couple of things that I want to push out here. Make sure you guys go to the Patreon page. We uploaded today our first of the SummerSlam classic match reviews. We did today Shawn Michaels and Razor Ramon.
Ooh.
1995 SummerSlam ladder match. I thought the match was overrated, and I went back and watched it today with some of my patrons, and I still feel the same way. I'm like, the WrestleMania 10 ladder match was better. I just like the setting. I like the commentary team better. I like the match itself. So if you guys are into that stuff, go and check that out. It's on the Patreon page right now. And then at some point this week, I will get the next poll up as far as what the next match review is going to be. So you guys voted on that today, and that is what we did.
It's hard to go back and watch old school gimmick matches because they've been elevated over the years. You know what I'm saying? Like, you go back and watch a Hell in a Cell match, like one of the original ones, it doesn't hit as hard.
No, it's all grainy. It's not even 1080p.
Yeah. It's hard to watch now.
Yeah.
Like Rock and Triple H ladder match. I mean, by today's standards of ladder matches, that's boring. But that was the shit when it happened.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely a tough watch, just quality wise, because we're spoiled with the way things look nowadays.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's there. Go and check that out. We'll be doing more stuff like that. So hopefully you guys enjoy that. Super chats are open. Get them on in. Best way to support the show. There is a goal. Friday we'll be spinning the OTS VIP wheel. Now I'm giving away to whoever the wheel lands on. We got some off the script hats. Giving that away. I got two different colors. I got all white, and then I got a multicolor one. And then my favorite thing, we got the off the script beer mugs. So, or the baseball bat beer mugs. Excellent. Quality stuff here, man. Quality stuff. So make sure you guys go and try and hit that goal, man. Every $10 will get you a spot on the wheel. And if you guys make the goal tonight, if we hit 10 out of 10 on the goal, you guys will get an additional spot on the wheel courtesy of me. So one will turn into two. So everybody that donates $10 or more, if we meet the goal, everybody's going to get an additional spot on the wheel. So if you guys want to have fun with that, we'll be doing that on Friday. Hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Go check out today's video. I did a little mini podcast on the CM Punk Sami Zayn stuff from Monday, and the fact that people are already claiming that it's very Hulk Hogan-like of CM Punk and very Rock-like of CM Punk. He's a hypocrite. So we talked about that today. Go and check that out. And then anything else there. We were live on Tuesday Night Titans. We were live on Monday. We had a great stream on Monday. We're nearing almost 45,000 views, almost 50,000 views. So thank you guys for that. And go follow Jesse on YouTube at Chi-Town Smart. Link is down below for him. Go follow him on Twitter at Chi-Town Smart. There you go. That's all I got. Anything on your end you want to mention?
Oh man, I'm still hanging out doing the live watch-alongs. I got a couple of sponsorship deals that reached out. I'm trying to get rolling to do some uploaded content. But right now, we are still doing the watch-alongs. I think I'm gonna go to TNA soon. Just to see what's going on there. And apparently I'm gonna do House of Glory too.
Yeah.
August 7th, man. I'm kind of excited for that. It's a Friday, right?
That's a Friday.
That's a Friday. All right. Where is it at? New York?
New York City, yeah.
All right. You guys go anywhere else here in Chicago?
Are we going anywhere else for the year?
No. Like, do you normally go anywhere, any other towns other than here in Chicago? Here in New York, I mean.
Yeah, we they've done Los Angeles, they've done Houston, they've done.
Oh, you just did like Texas very recently. Right?
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, there's a couple of ideas on the table. I don't want to say where yet. Right. I would love for them to go to Florida, honestly, because they have a school down there. So I hope that's in the works because I'd love to go to Florida. I love Florida. North Carolina, I would love to go there too. I think that was being discussed. We're going back to. They want to do Atlanta too, which is I've never been to. Believe it or not, I've never been to Atlanta. So,
me either.
So yeah, there's a couple of things in the works. So they'll be doing something. We were in Vegas, obviously, for WrestleMania week. That was one of our best shows ever, if not our best show ever.
Right.
But yeah, that's August 7th. So we'll keep you guys updated on that. Card should be going out fairly shortly. We got another month or so for that show. But tonight's Dynamite, we start things off at the top here with Tommaso Ciampa and Chris Jericho. This was a standard one-on-one match. Before that, we had Renee interview Kenny Omega backstage. She said, this was arguably the biggest night of his career given the high stakes. She asked what was going through his head. He said it was a loaded question because it's do or die. He said in his career, he's done his best work with his back against the wall. He said Michael Nakazawa is his only friend that is currently there tonight, someone who's always been there for him. He said if MJF can beat him and prevent him from ever wrestling for the AEW title again, he'll shake his hand and tell him a job well done. He says it won't be easy, though. So he asked MJF if he has what it takes to kill him in the ring tonight and stomp out the last chance of the AEW title and also prevent him from headlining AEW's largest event in history at Wembley Stadium, which it will not be because Jesse and I were at the largest event in pro wrestling history. This one is not even going to come close. They barely have 27,000 tickets out the door, I believe, last I saw. So there's less than 2 months to go, but they'll probably come close to 50. But it's not going to be 80. No, nowhere near where we were for that year.
No, so good.
Yeah. So he says he's ready this time, and it won't be like the last time. So we get Tommaso Ciampa and Chris Jericho. This was very good. It went 20 minutes, and Ciampa comes out first. So he waits in the aisleway. He takes off his jacket, and he's waiting behind one of the palm trees on the stage, waiting to attack Chris Jericho as he emerges from the gorilla position. So Jericho comes on out, and he jumps the barricade ringside. He's got no jacket on, because I'm sure it was like 100 degrees there. And he attacks Ciampa in the aisleway, and Judas is still playing. So they obviously wait till the chorus and then shut the music off and let the fans sing the rest of the chorus. I find this to be kind of cheesy now. We've seen it so many times. It's not even special anymore. But they love their sing-alongs in pro wrestling, so this was yet another one of those. So he brawled with Ciampa on the stage. Jericho suplexed Ciampa onto a plastic patio chair, which looked like it sucked. And then he smashed a plastic patio chair across his back. So they get into the ring. Taz is at ringside. They're all wearing like kind of summery shirts, dress shirts at commentary. Tony Schiavone is wearing a pink polo shirt, which he looked more hotter than the other two, temperature-wise. The other two had like little Tommy Bahama dress shirts on, short sleeve. So Taz is high-fiving Ciampa at ringside. And Ciampa catches Jericho with a DDT when they got back into the ring. He threw Jericho out to the ring apron, landed a knee strike. And we'll pick it up after the commercial break. We go into a commercial break after the Death Valley driver onto the apron by Ciampa. He comes back. He delivers a pedigree on top of the ringside steps. The Ciampa to Jericho. Jericho ends up getting busted open. So we get some blood here. He goes up to a fan in the front row who's wearing this soccer-style shirt, who's bald and large, and Ciampa kissed the guy's forehead and said, "Bald is beautiful, ass clown," right to the camera. So Ciampa threw Jericho into the ring post. Jericho's bleeding at this point. Jericho starts making a comeback in the corner. Ciampa countered into a side slam off of Jericho's offense, off the top rope. And Jericho catches Ciampa in a small package for a 2. Jericho takes Ciampa off the top rope with a Hurricane Rana. Ciampa was about to hit Jericho with a metal pail or one of them sand buckets that was like kind of metalish, stainless steel sand buckets. Jericho blocked it with a code breaker. Jericho scores a 2 count off the code breaker. Now there's sand in the ring because of the sand bucket. Ciampa avoided a lion salt and landed 2 knees for another 2 count. Ciampa then lowered his knee pad. He went for another running knee strike. Jericho blocked it, applied a lion tamer. Ciampa grabbed the bucket to use as a weapon, but the referee took it away. The sand that was in the ring, Ciampa takes a handful of the sand and threw it in Jericho's eyes, blinding Jericho, which was a brilliant move. And he hits the psycho knee. 1, 2, 3. Ciampa wins over Jericho in 20 minutes. Now, afterwards, Ciampa hit Jericho with the metal sand bucket. Shivani said Ciampa didn't care about winning as much as wanting to hurt Jericho since he was risking a DQ earlier. He emptied a tool bag out underneath the ring, and he pulls out an electric drill. Security gets in there, tried to block Ciampa from drilling Jericho's head, and they finally put a stop to this attack with the electric drill, and that was the way everything came to a close here. I thought this was largely good. This was probably Jericho's best match in AEW back since he's come back. And Ciampa continues to just be as consistent as anybody in the business with the match quality he's put her on. I thought this was good stuff. I think that we'll eventually get another match. I mean, it's tailor-made for Redemption, I think, at the pay-per-view. But Ciampa gets the first win here, Jesse. What'd you think?
The match was good. Especially with given the ambiance and the setting with, the whole layout of the beach and everything like that. I think this kind of set the tone for me for this show, giving me beach break vibes. You know what I'm saying? It just felt like WCW beach break, man. Like the whole ordeal. But how long is this feud gonna go for?
I don't know. This was the first match.
This was the first match? I feel like this is a second at least.
This was the first match.
No shit. What? Wait a minute. How did we? This is the
We've
first
gotten weeks of build and weeks of attacks. The attacks on weekly television, I think Ciampa was attacking some random jobbers, and he was trying to bully Tony Schiavone into saying that, or anybody that he had a hold of, an announcer or a commentator, trying to get them to admit that Ciampa is better than Jericho.
Seriously felt like their second or third fucking match.
I'll look it up. I'm pretty positive that this was their only match so far.
That's amazing. I remember we didn't even know why they were feuding, remember?
Well, I still don't even know why they're feuding.
Right.
I don't know why. I don't know why this all started. Yeah, this is their first match.
Wow.
Yep. Darby beat Ciampa on April 22nd. Then they had the party match on May 13th with the Bucks. Briscoe, anything goes against Ciampa on May 20th. Ciampa beat somebody by the name of Beef on the June 6th episode of Collision. And his his first match, well, yeah, Beef.
What?
Yeah, B-E-E-F. Yeah, Beef. I don't know who that is. And then his first match, or his first match since then, his next match since then was tonight against Jericho. They won an early match.
That's fucking crazy. I could have swore they had at least a match before now.
No, that's it.
Wow. That feels like some Mandela effect shit, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm assuming Jericho will get a win back here, and then they'll probably go 50-50. So what's the point? I mean, if Jericho's going to be working with these people that he's never worked with, isn't the point of Jericho working with these people to get them over? I'm not expecting Jericho to lose every feud, but
yeah.
He ended up tying with Ricochet. There was nobody came out of that looking better, and now we're doing the same thing with Ciampa.
Well, didn't it feel like Jericho was going back to the E before he came back?
Yes,
but they brought him back in.
Yeah,
speculation as to why. I mean, they extended his deal because of injury.
Yeah,
did they bring him back just to put a bunch of guys over?
They brought Jericho back to put a bunch of guys over?
Yeah, before he goes.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Who's he putting over?
Right now, Ciampa.
I guess Ciampa looks a little better working with Jericho, but Ciampa was doing his thing before Jericho even got back.
Yeah, I don't mean like get them over. Don't get that twisted, but just
you know what it feels like? It feels like this is Jericho's last hurrah tour, and he wants to work with everybody that he's ever worked with before.
Yeah, that kind of tracks.
Bald versus hair.
Bald versus hair.
That was G Money in the chat said. Bald versus hair. We're gonna get a bald versus hair match? No. Jericho's never shaving his hair. Are you kidding me? He's got a rock and roll image to uphold.
So if somebody wins or loses, they have to get hair.
That don't even make fucking sense, man.
You got to get extensions.
I don't know. But Jericho loses here. I'm assuming we'll get a rematch at Redemption. It's just tailor-made for that. Will Ospreay is interviewed backstage by Renee, saying Kenny Omega is one of the best to ever do it, but can't look past Max. It's not the talent you have to worry about with him. It's all the bullshit. Hopefully tonight we can announce the main event of Allin being Omega versus Ospreay. MJF walks in, says he has an issue with that, and Ospreay was rude, as MJF isn't judgmental, thinking Ospreay is a grown man looking for compliments from Jon Moxley. Please, sir, can I have some more? He's making fun of Ospreay's accent. MJF says you're living in the golden era of 2026. As Ospreay said, he is the feeling. When MJF was the feeling all along. When Ospreay and Omega are just good little wrestlers. MJF can't stand people who want to see Omega versus Ospreay for his Triple B, but after tonight, Omega won't be able to challenge for the title or even look in the mirror again. He then tells Ospreay that his stack of dimes neck, he's going to break it, and he's going to take great pleasure in doing so at Wembley Stadium. Ospreay then said MJF has mixed up his mouthwash with cat piss and take 2 steps back, please. Ospreay said MJF can be the longest or youngest, but MJF can't even crack the top 50 of the greatest of all time. Ospreay says he knows 14-year-old girls in Japan that are better than he is. I highly doubt that. MJF is a beggar wanting to be part of the conversation. Until you can do it on your own, you won't be a part of the conversation, and you never will be. MJF then spit legitimately in Ospreay's face. Renee bailed at that point. We get a big pull-apart brawl. MJF is screaming that he's the champ and Omega's a dead man. And what happens to him is all on Will Ospreay tonight. I mean, they sold this match. It wasn't even announced as MJF and Ospreay. They sold this match for Wembley better than anything else they've done in the summer this year so far. So this was a great back and forth. And I even said it on Twitter. I'm like, if you guys need any more of a reason what the real main event of Wembley Stadium should be, it's right here. And they got a great on-screen chemistry. And if you don't think they can build a fantastic match with a hot build going into the biggest show of the year, I mean, just look at the last 2 weeks that they've done promo-wise.
So why are they doing all this with each other to not have a match?
Because Kenny Omega is the centralized figure here. Because Kenny Omega is Will Ospreay's idol. He's his biggest influence, inspiration.
No. That's not answering the question. Why are they doing all of this with Max and Will Ospreay?
Because the winner
not doing the match with them.
Because the winner of this match would get Will Ospreay. He's just like a heel because he thinks he's the best of all time. He's just thinking ahead and already looking past Omega. So of course he's going to look.
You're going to spit in my face, and we're not having a match to cap that shit off.
I get that. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It really doesn't make any sense. Nothing they've done here makes any sense. Anyway, that was that. Great spot there with Ospreay and MJF. Konosuke Takeshita comes in, defends the title against Kyle Fletcher for the AEW International Championship. This was a very, very good match. I felt like they held a little bit back. If this was on pay-per-view, they would have won another 15 minutes easy. But this was a very good match, and Kyle Fletcher ended up winning the AEW International Championship back. I'll give you the floor, Jesse, to let everybody know what you thought of this match before I get into the breakdown here. I want to look up what Takeshita is doing next, because there is a reason why he lost this match.
So the match was really fucking good. The match was fan-fucking-tastic, man. But I am of the belief that Takeshita has something to do in New Japan. You know, whether it be a tournament or something like that. But again, I don't feel like that they had a goal of, let's pin Takeshita for no reason. I feel like there's something else going on that we are unaware of as to why he had to take this pin here tonight. He had obligations elsewhere. He is doing shit in New Japan as well. So that part kind of makes sense. The G1, he's doing the G1.
He's doing the G1, yes. The G1 runs from July 11th to August 16th. I don't know if Takeshita is going to end up being in the finals of the G1, but hopefully he gets back in time where there's a proper build back to the International Championship, because I can't really see him missing Wembley Stadium.
Yeah. And they have a lot of stock in Fletcher, man. It's not like this was a wasted pin. I mean, Fletcher's going to be their guy one day. Fletcher is absolutely 1,000% going to be world champion in AEW before it's all said and done.
Yeah.
And they do have big plans for the guy, but at the same time, so the same for Takeshita. But again, if he has imminent issues going on with another promotion, that would explain it. He could take the little time off here, then come back, fresh off the G1 or however that tournament goes for him. But this was a fantastic match. I mean, they could have went either way on this, and I'd have been okay with it. Yeah,
this was really good stuff here. Fletcher's great. Takeshita, I feel, is like one of the best wrestlers in the world, period. Not just in AEW. But, yeah, Takeshita lost this match because he is in the G1 Climax, and that runs through August 16th. I don't really understand why they put the title on him if they knew he was going to be in the G1. But I'm assuming he's going to factor into the international title match at Wembley Stadium. We talked about this on TNT last night. Jason came up with a very logical and sound way to do this. Kyle Fletcher is the star of the Don Callis family next to Okada. Okada wants his international championship back. I'm assuming there's going to be some tension brewing there. So Takeshita is going to come back. We'll probably just put all three of these guys in a triple threat match at Wembley Stadium. We'll do Fletcher, Okada, and Takeshita for the international championship. That's what he thinks is going to happen. I like that idea. I think that's great because I don't really know where else they go with Okada at that show unless they want to run back Okada and Jon Moxley for the Continental title and then just do Fletcher and Takeshita again in a rematch for the international championship. So that's also a possibility. We also discussed that Swerve and Moxley could be an idea going into Wembley Stadium as well because Ospreay and his ties with the Death Riders, Swerve can actually just target Jon Moxley because of what happened at the pay-per-view at Forbidden Door. So they got a couple of ways to go about it, but Fletcher won the international championship back here. Really good stuff. We'll pick it up at the end here. And this was a physical match, as all of Kyle Fletcher's matches are. So they plugged the Twitch live stream that a couple of content creators were live streaming on. Apparently they were doing some in real-time reactions. I don't know who these people are, nor do I care, but there was a big Twitch partnership here with Beach Break for AEW. Fletcher landed a running front kick to Takeshita's face. We get Don Callis chants, fuck Don Callis here in Clearwater. Fletcher gets an opportunity to duck Takeshita elbow, and then he goes on the attack here. We'll go into a commercial break with them going back and forth. Takeshita gave Fletcher a pile driver, a wheelbarrow suplex onto the ring apron. Takeshita stood first. He threw Fletcher back into the ring. Takeshita gave Fletcher a reverse hurricanrana back in the ring. He charges at Fletcher. Fletcher landed a Michinoku driver. Very emphatically, I might add. He goes for a cover. He gets a 2 count. Don Callis and Lance Archer are at ringside, and they are both cheering on Kyle Fletcher. So Takeshita, he gets up, lands a running clothesline. He signals he's going to the top rope. Fletcher pops up playing possum, and he sets up a big top rope move. Takeshita headbutted Fletcher down. Fletcher comes right back, lands a high kick. Takeshita came out of the corner with a razor's edge on Kyle Fletcher. So Don Callis gets up from commentary, and he grabs Takeshita's boot, distracting Takeshita just momentarily. This opens up Fletcher to deliver a big kick to the face. Fletcher then lands a raging fire, throwing some of Takeshita's offense right back at him for a 2 count. So they go back and forth. Takeshita and Fletcher battle on a backslide. Fletcher got the better of the battle here, landing on the top rope. Sheer drop brainbuster on Takeshita on the top rope, on the turnbuckle. That gets a 2 count. Fletcher then meets Takeshita on the top rope again and gives him a brainbuster again. 1, 2, 3. Kyle Fletcher wins in about 17 minutes. We have a new international champion. Good stuff here, as you would expect from both of these two guys. At the end of the match, Mick Foley apparently was advertised for an appearance here, and he was going to have a special interview. So Mick Foley makes his first appearance here on AEW Dynamite. First appearance on TBS, actually, in 32 years, they said. So Callis and Fletcher were in the ring. Foley said this moment wasn't about him, but rather Kyle Fletcher. He says this was one of the finest matches he's ever seen. He asked what it was like to beat his former best friend, Takeshita. Fletcher said Takeshita was never his friend. He said he was always number 1 in Proto-Shida, and Takeshita was riding his coattails. He held up the belt and said he brought it back to the Don Callis family. So Callis interjected himself and accused Foley of stealing the spotlight. Foley told Callis that he wanted to talk about credibility. He says he has it, and he meant it when he complimented the match and complimented Kyle Fletcher. Foley pointed at his custom shoes, which had he had 2 shoes on that were painted with 2 of his dogs. One of them which passed. God rest its soul. I hate when I have to hear that pets pass away. And the other one was still among us. So Foley is pointing at his custom shoes. He says it gives him comfort. He says one of his current dogs is painted on his right foot, and if Callis steps out of line, that dog will be very acquainted with his ass. Which I didn't understand where they were going with this. This just felt very out of place here.
This is so roundabout way.
I don't really know what the whole point of this was. Callis asked, how dare him? He says he's a manager of champions. And then he brought up Kevin Knight, the TNT champion. He called him out to the ring. Fletcher and Foley were engaged in a stare down. Kevin Knight walked out and congratulated Fletcher on his win. He says, welcome to the club. It took you long enough. Why, if you're in the Don Callis family, are you going to throw an underhanded remark like that at someone who just beat one of the best wrestlers in the world in Konosuke Takeshita? So he gets in the ring. He looks into the camera. He says he's still owed an AEW title shot. He says he'll be closely watching MJF'S Omega. Andrade then walks out. He makes his way out to the stage. So Andrade addresses the Don Callis family and said he was the best in the Don Callis family, and Don messed up by kicking him out. He promised to take 1 belt from the Don Callis family. So Callis says that he had to endure months of his obsession with belts. He told Andrade that if he could beat Jake Doyle next week, he could face Mark Davis for the AEW national title. Andrade seemed pleased with this stipulation and then said that he had 1 question. How you know?
Oh, God.
How you know? Like, bro, you got to start using the how you know in the right context.
They're just using it now.
You got to use it in the right context. Otherwise, it doesn't make any sense. And it sounds silly.
It's so lame.
So Doyle,
it's getting over, so now we're never going to hear the end of it.
So Doyle, Brian Cage, and Kevin Knight chased Andrade to the back. Foley was standing at ringside at this point. They cut backstage to where Darby Allin went after Brian Cage. He came out of nowhere. He went after Cage, Doyle, and Knight with his skateboard, but he dropped a black backpack. Kevin Knight's like, whoa. Don't touch it. Because the backpack, if you guys remember at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view in that steel cage, Kevin Knight climbed the steel cage, and the backpack exploded in his face, and he fell down below through 2 tables. So he didn't want anybody touching the backpack. Apparently, Brian Cage picks up the skateboard because it's a 3-on-1 here. He's about to attack Darby with the skateboard. He picks up the skateboard, and apparently the skateboard was booby-trapped, and it electrocuted him and blew up in Brian Cage's face. So Andrade walked in, and he had one of them detonation devices, and they looked at him and pointed at him, blaming him, and Andrade said, "How you know?" See, that's a good context.
Oh, my God.
That's a good way to use how you know. They pointed at him, yet he's standing there like he's fucking the Roadrunner with Wile E. Coyote. How you know? And that's the brawl. That's the way the brawl came to a close. Everybody's brawling, and they cut away in the brawl in progress.
Fucking hell, man.
This is AEW for you, bro.
How was this getting over? It's so dumb. God knows 3 words in English.
You know, it's amazing. It's amazing, Jesse, how, you know, everybody that vehemently hates us, you know, that they hate what we do, they think that we're fed bots and we hate AEW. You know, it's amazing how these people talk about us weekly, about what we do here, and they hate us, but yet they're tweeting 15 minutes ago that, you know, we said what we said about MJF and Kenny Omega before, you know. They're legitimate. The haters are watching the show.
What you mean? Wait, you mean haters are watching the show?
Yeah.
What?
Ace Humphreys, how you doing, bro? I know you. I see you watching, bro. JD from New York. I genuinely feel they pulled the trigger tonight to try to take some thunder away from CM Punk winning the WWE Championship on Monday Night Raw.
What?
Yeah.
Haters are watching that show.
Yeah, it's crazy.
They say looking for something they can tweet about.
Yeah.
They're on Twitter, so that tells me everything I need to know about them.
I know. What do you make of Andrade here, bro? Andrade going after the national title. You excited about that?
I like this trajectory that Andrade is on. I do. I do like the fact that he's finally getting over a little bit more than he has been in a long time. Andrade used to be a top of the card kind of guy, but it seems like he just could not get back to where he should be here or in the Fed, either one. He just can't get back there. But I like the path he's on now. I mean, he's finally connecting with the crowd, which is the most important thing. So and the guy can go. He can really go in the ring. The only holdback is the language barrier, and he really does need a mouthpiece. And now that he's on his own, I'm wondering if that's going to become an issue. But now he has 3 words he can keep uttering. I guess it won't be an issue now.
You know, it kind of defeats the purpose now that he's been targeting and wanting a match with MJF, and they've been going back and forth, and they had all these problems and tensions. Now he's not the world champion. So is he going to go after MJF without the title, or is he going to go after Kenny Omega with the AEW title?
Well, either one can work. I mean, because his whole issue with MJF is that he wanted a title match.
Yeah.
So if he just forgot about that and moved on to Kenny, it would make sense. Or if he wanted to just finish this shit up with MJF because now he genuinely don't like the guy, that would also make sense. So they can kind of go either way that they want to go.
You know, Kenny Omega lost to Andrade. I think it was his first match back in AEW, first or second match back in AEW when he was physically able to reappear on their television show. He did beat Kenny Omega, and that was, I think he went like 4 or 5-0 when he first came back. One of those wins was against Kenny, I know. So, Arena Mexico is coming up. If Tony Khan wants to do Arena Mexico with Andrade in Arena Mexico against Kenny Omega could get his win back. That'll be a great match. You know, in Arena Mexico, that should be a very hot crowd. Or, you know, if they didn't take the belt off MJF tonight, that would have been an even hotter match with MJF going into Mexico to wrestle Andrade. Man, that would have been great. That could still work now if you want to do it non-title. But, you know, it loses some of its appeal when MJF just lost the championship if you want to run that match. But if he wants a world title match, I mean, Kenny Omega's right there, so they could do that. But Andrade is great. He's one of my favorites here. I don't really have any interest in him going after the national title. I feel like it's just a way to shut him up, to get him a championship. The Don Callis family doesn't really need all these championships. Giving Andrade one would probably do Andrade good. What do you make, Jesse, of the Darby Allin exploding backpack, now exploding skateboard? It looks like he's going to be booby trapping all these different things until he gets Kevin Knight in the ring one-on-one. Do you think that kind of takes away from Darby Allin for a little bit?
It's starting to make him feel like the Joker in parts. I mean, it's my number one concern about him losing the world title was what they were going to do with him afterward. And I held off from giving my thoughts on him being champion because I thought the most important thing was how they're going to book him afterward. And now that they have him doing just gimmick spots like this and things like this, I'm not a fan of it. I don't like it. This is the same kind of shit he was doing before he was world champion. And my hope was he would be elevated from that moment after being world champion to doing bigger and more important things. I feel like Darby should have a more of a focus on being world champion again and getting back to where he was because he liked it so much. I mean, as opposed to just being, I'll focus on whatever else because I don't really care anymore. You know, what's the overall, what's the big picture story with Darby Allin after losing his world title? It seems like he just doesn't give a shit.
No, I mean, that's what you talked about specifically with Darby. You know, we all thought that Kevin Knight turning heel and attacking Darby Allin and kind of going in a different direction with him would be a nice follow-up for Darby Allin. Now, it looks like we may be getting this match at Redemption. I don't know what the point would be or what the purpose would be to put the TNT title back on Darby Allin. I don't really get a sense that even makes sense or why anybody would care about that. You know? But it looks like, you know, I could see them kind of building to an exploding death match. They haven't done one. Kenny Omega and Jon Moxley wrestled in the only exploding death match that AEW's ever had. That was at Revolution in 2021. I could see them building to something here where we get another one of those. And you know how that went off with a fucking poof of smoke in the end and it was very, very botched. I could see them wanting to redo that and kind of revisit that. I don't know what else it could lead to with all these booby traps and all these explosions happening to the Don Callis family, you know?
I'm kind of fucking worried if they already did it and it botched in one way, they didn't get anything to go on. I'm kind of worried that it will botch in the other direction this time and somebody's going to blow the fuck up.
Well, I don't know. But I could see them doing something like that.
Yeah, I could too. It would make sense. And now we got Mick Foley in the company. You know, Darby has the wrong guy to bounce these kind of ideas off of now, man.
How you know?
How you know?
Anyway, that was that segment there. And what Mick Foley had to do with any of this chat, I have no idea. I have no idea. Mick Foley being out there was just an obligatory Mick Foley moment. They wanted him back on TBS for 32 years now. He hasn't been on TBS. You know, Darby mentioned in a recent interview that he would not want to wrestle Mick Foley one-on-one. A tag team match, maybe. Could you potentially see, Jesse, Darby Allin and Mick Foley being a tag team going into going into All-In, teaming up against the Don Callis family in some way? Kevin Knight and somebody else? Kevin Knight and maybe Mark Davis?
I have said this before. And you keep trying to will this shit into existence. I do not see any scenario in which I want to see or I should be seeing Mick Foley participate in any form of any kind of a wrestling match. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
How you know?
Oh my God, how do you know?
How you know?
This guy should not be, bro. No, at no moment, nobody, no matches, no one last time, no one-off, no tag matches, no Hell in a Cells, no round robin bullshit, Cade, nothing. No Mick Foley wrestling anymore. Never again. You want a commissioner? There's your guy right there. On screen, authority figure. There you go. Great guy for it. Outside of that, no. Bro,
you genuinely think Tony Khan, who is the biggest sicko of them all, is employing Mick Foley to keep him around to hold a microphone and interview Kyle Fletcher on Dynamite? You don't think he brought him in to just do that now, do you?
Yeah, he's a walking legend, barely walking, and he deserves a job in pro wrestling. So yeah, absolutely.
I don't know, man. I have a very strange feeling that Mick Foley will be wrestling at Allin.
Oh, stop bringing this shit up. No.
Listen, I've been saying it for months, bro. Now everybody's just kind of getting on board here, you know?
Oh, no.
We got a tag team match here, Jesse. The Death Riders, Jon Moxley and Will Ospreay are like best of friends now and tag team partners.
Best friends.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy. They worked against the Work Horsemen, Jesse.
Yes.
Anthony Henry and J.D. Drake. We love the Drake, huh?
Loved it.
Any thoughts here?
Again, they're just feeding the Ospreay versus Moxley feud that is coming after All In. Now they're establishing them as a tag team. They'll make them friends. The match itself was not a thing of importance. This is now their second tag match. They're gonna have them, they're gonna kind of when they eventually break this feud out, it's gonna have some meat behind it because they will have had an even bigger bond that they have now. They're just establishing them as a tag team before they break them up later this year. That's all.
I find yes, that you are correct there. I'm sorry. I have to go off on a tangent here, chat. I'm sorry. All the people that don't like me for whatever reason, I know you're watching. Here's another one, chat. Another one of these fucking absolute sick weirdos who clearly has not seen a grassy field in many, many, many years. Noah Gilbert online. I know some of you guys know him. I tweet out that I'm promoting the stream tonight like I usually do. I give my quick thoughts. Everybody comes to the stream. I put two tweets together, and we all know X. If you know X, X doesn't like links. So I put my real thoughts in a long form tweet, and then I kind of tweet underneath that. Join me and Jesse for the stream, and there's the link for the show tonight. So I say, well, it looks like MJF, who deserved to walk into the biggest show of the year with the biggest prize, is not happening because of this weird fetish AEW has with Omega and Ospreay in the main event of All In. Taking the belt off him for Darby now looks even more stupid. Kenny Omega takes the title from MJF in one of the worst creative decisions of the year, 2 weeks before pay-per-view in Canada. Are we rematching again there? And for what? Who is Redemption for? I genuinely feel like they pulled the trigger tonight to try and take some of the thunder away from CM Punk winning the WWE title on Monday Night Raw. And when you book to one-up the other show, you end up looking stupid because none of this is good. So Noah Gilbert says, weird fetish, ? What the fuck are you talking about, man? This guy is complaining about Ospreay versus Omega, the biggest match AEW can do right now. Also, if you think any of the booking is in response to what WWE is doing, you're delusional as hell. I'm sorry, what? The biggest match that you can do all on AEW's roster is what? Omega and Ospreay? I don't agree with that whatsoever. MJF and Ospreay is the biggest match you can do. Both guys are at maximum strength. Kenny Omega could barely fucking, he's got barely any stomach left. Someone who personally said that he's very close to the end, more so than he is the beginning. But that's the biggest match that you can do. And by the way, why do the haters, Jesse, this is what I don't understand. Why do the haters still complain when I am complaining about their show and wanting their show to be better? Don't you think that they would kind of be in line with me actually showing that I actually give a shit? But everything I say is like an attack on AEW, an attack on the sickos. I don't get it.
You know what I don't get? You have 2,000 live people here to get our reaction on this show, and you're bruising through your Twitter replies.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think you have a problem.
Do I?
Close that fucking app.
I don't understand why. I just don't get it.
No. Believe it or not, you're gonna see some really wild and random shit on Twitter. So you should probably not open it while you have a live stream of 2,000 people watching.
How you know? Oh my God.
Close that shit, man.
It's closed.
Just deal with it.
Hi
later.
guys. How you doing, man? How you doing?
Oh, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Oh man, I just
That's it. That's it. Demonetized.
You're the one that's gonna get me demonetized, motherfucker.
Oh, fuck that, please. You want to go back and go through your fucking live streams and see the shit that you say?
What do I say? What do I say?
I think they make compilations about it already.
Man, I'm on my best behavior nowadays, man. What are you talking about? I'm a fucking angel in here.
Yeah. Fuck that guy, man. Go back to him later.
Gauntlet match. We got the Women's Casino Gauntlet, shot for the AEW Women's Championship at Redemption. Thekla is the champion. So Mercedes is sitting in the lifeguard tower on the stage. Thekla comes out with an alcoholic beverage in her hand and joins the commentary team. I'd love to know what she was drinking. What the fuck is Thekla drinking, chat? What I want to know.
I had it as sex on the beach.
Possibly. I could see that being a drink of choice for her. Yeah.
There you go.
A little weak. A little weak.
Okay.
It's not very metal enough for Thekla.
I mean,
you know,
she's working, bro.
So what? Pina colada, strawberry daiquiri. You want to go to Wet Willie's and get call a cab? You know? You ever been to Wet Willie's, bro?
She's working.
Let's get Jesse some Wet Willies. Let's get him a call a cab. Couple of those, man. He'll be on the fucking floor.
Oh, no, gonna give me a Wet Willie?
maybe it's an East Coast thing, man. There's a couple of them. There's a couple of them in Atlantic City.
Keep my ears covered around you, man.
Oh man! So we got Athena and Maya World. They are out at number 1, and I'm not going to go over any of this. This was bad. This was just sloppy as fuck. I don't know if the heat was getting to them, but Athena and Maya World came out at number 1 and 2. Sky Blue came out with a kendo stick at number 3. Mina came out at number 4. Then we got Rena, Jesse. So we got Mina and Rena in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of Rena in the ring there?
I enjoyed the visuals of this match. And Rena wasn't bad. She was fine.
Who? Oh, Rena. I thought you said Mina.
I said Rena.
Oh, Mina's never bad.
Mina's never bad.
No. We got
Rena was fine. That is the one consistent thing I will say about the Stardom women that have come in. They've all been very good in the ring.
Yeah, there was a spot here which I didn't understand. Sky Blue and Julia Hart. When Julia Hart got in there, she came in at number 6. All of a sudden, they start beating up the security guards outside. Like they were focusing more on the security guards than they were focusing on the in-ring stuff to win this match and get the number 1 contendership. But I guess they didn't really give a shit because neither one of them wanted to fight Thekla. I don't know.
Bro, they are this team of security guards is getting beat up by the smallest women in the company.
I don't know, man. You know, with Sky Blue holding a kendo stick and Julia Hart holding a trash can lid, man. I mean, I think they could take half the roster if they're really focused on it.
I took on Julia Hart. I think she regrets that fight. Trust me.
I don't know. Has our boy Big Shotty ever invited you back?
No, man. His wife beat me up.
Maybe he's joined the list of people that don't like us there anymore. I don't know. Or me in general, man, not you. Everybody, most of the blame gets cast on me, not you.
Well, we got a show in Chicago coming up soon. We'll see if some random tickets wind up in my inbox.
Yes, that's the same weekend. That's the same weekend as the House of Glory show. It's legitimately that following Saturday.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I might have to. I don't know. Maybe
stick around.
I might stick around.
Yeah, man. Let's go.
3 days in Chicago, man. I don't know.
Let's go get kicked out.
Maybe we could do a live stream somewhere, a live review somewhere.
Hey man, let's set it up. We can set one up on the street.
I'll look into that. Julia Hart's out there, number 6. They're beating up the security guards. What a dumb spot. I mean, it's just fucking stupid. Thunder Rosa was out there, number 7. She comes on out. And then we get Willow Nightingale coming out at number 8, and that was it. This was the worst gauntlet match in AEW history. This was something that they could have realistically, Jesse, just given Willow Nightingale. They were better off just giving Willow Nightingale the fucking title match at Thekla at the pay-per-view. It's like she came out at number 8, and then literally within 90 seconds, she ended up winning the match with a doctor bomb on... Who did she pin? She pinned Julia Hart.
Julia Hart.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you if they just would have given her the fucking title match, we would have been sitting right here complaining about it.
Well, Thekla on commentary threw it out there as she was drinking her alcoholic adult beverage. She's like, I don't even think Willow Nightingale was even injured. What? Which is a feasible thing to say. It's like, you know, I'm glad she said it because I'm not the only one that's thinking that. You know, it's a possibility that she was never really injured and they didn't want her to lose as the TBS champion in the Owen. Now, rumor is that she was supposed to win the entire Owen. But why did they pull her from the tournament if she was supposed to win the entire Owen? I guess they couldn't have her win the Owen and then also lose the TBS championship, because if she was going to win the Owen, Jesse, and be the TBS champion, she would eventually have to drop the TBS title to somebody. That would mean she loses on the way to Wembley instead of being booked strong.
Shit is so convoluted.
It's crazy. It's crazy. So they came up with a way. They pulled some shenanigans and took the belt off her, pretending that she was injured, supposedly. Now she's the number 1 contender towards Thekla. And what I fear here is, and we love Thekla on this show, is that we're getting Willow and Mercedes at Allin for the championship. I mean, take your choice there. If Willow walks in as champion, do we belt? This is what I don't understand. I'm just thinking this out. This is not... I'm not saying this is going to happen, but this is certainly a possibility and kind of what we feel is going to happen anyway. Jesse, if Willow beats Thekla at Redemption, that's happening on, July 26th? Then we have legitimately 1 month as Willow as champion. She walks into Wembley as the AEW Women's Champion, wrestles Mercedes. Are we to believe that Mercedes is going to win back-to-back Owens and then fail to win the one championship that she's never won? The reason that she lost all these other championships was to win this one. So giving the belt to Willow for Mercedes to beat her after 1 month, what do you think that does to Tekla's reign? Doesn't that come off to you as like a slap in the face to Thekla and the work she's done?
Bro, given the recent title changes we've been getting in pro wrestling over the last week or two, I don't fucking know anymore. I don't know. None of it makes sense anymore. You know, I can tell you what makes sense, but is that gonna be the outcome? I don't. Probably fucking not.
How we know?
Probably. How you know? How do you know? All we can do is give you what makes sense, and then all of a sudden you wake up and CM Punk walked into the fucking Allstate Arena and walked out as champion.
Listen, I said it from the get-go. It didn't make any sense. He didn't do anything. He didn't do anything to earn a match.
It doesn't make any sense. But here we are. You know, MJF lost the world title to Kenny Omega, 2 months before All In. Why? I don't fucking know.
They don't want Thekla to lose to Mercedes, but Willow being the transitional champion is silly? I don't understand. Like, Thekla has done everything she could to get that championship over. And she's made herself into a bigger star in the same time. And Tony can't do Mercedes and Thekla, 2 heels at the pay-per-view. That's just stupid.
I'm telling you, to anybody who's fucking watching that might have any kind of inkling of the possibility of maybe changing something back there, you need to be focusing your attention on Thekla.
Get this. I'm sorry, Jesse. Get this guy out of the chat. What's his name? VVDX BBN. Get him out of the chat. You a Mercedes Monet hater? Yeah. Go back to 11 years ago when we were talking about Mercedes in NXT. You fucking geek. Who was praising Mercedes? Me. Every single week. Go watch TNT from 2 weeks ago. You can listen to us both heap praise on Mercedes. Get him out of the chat. Goodbye. He's gone. I'm sorry, Jessica.
they need to be focusing all of their attentions on Thekla. You have her right there. Don't fucking stat her. Don't statlander her where you get her right there to be, right where you wanted to be at the top, and then all of a sudden you just drop the ball, and then you can't. Then you're gonna spend the next few months trying to get her back to where she already was. You need to make sure you continue pushing Thekla. Mercedes is always gonna be Mercedes. She's not going anywhere. I mean, Willow is always gonna be up there. Willow's a very much a fan favorite. If you start dropping Thekla down the card just because, you're gonna fucking regret that shit later. You lost Toni Storm for whatever reasons there might be. Hopefully she'll be good in 9 months. I don't know. But you have Thekla now. Thekla is in a spot where she can lead this locker room. Her along with Mercedes, along with a couple of the other women you get on top up there. Don't fuck this up. Don't fuck this up. There is no reason to knock Thekla down just yet. She, bro, coming off this Forbidden Door build that she did, she's white hot right now. Let her cook. Let her fucking cook. Don't mess this up. Mercedes is not going anywhere. Mercedes will always be fucking Mercedes. You don't need to pander to Mercedes just because she is Mercedes. She's fine. She's not going anywhere. She's not falling down the card. Thekla is not as safe as Mercedes is. Don't fuck up Thekla.
Yeah, I hear you. I agree with what you're telling me. But the last time Willow wrestled Mercedes was on December 31, 2025. She beat Mercedes for the TBS title. So Willow's going to walk in potentially, if things play out the way that I think it is. Willow's going to walk into Wembley as the AEW Women's Champion by beating Thekla. And she's going to drop the belt in a 1-month reign to Mercedes, because Mercedes obviously is going to have to get her win back. I can't see them beating Mercedes again after winning a second Owen. Like, what point does that make? You brought Mercedes back to win the Owen and waste the Owen again for another year because you wanted to put the title on Willow and we can't take the belt off Willow after a month? So why are we taking it off Thekla to begin with? I hope that's not the case.
I hope that, bro. Terrible mistake. Do you see yourself trying to get Statlander back to where she was? You can be doing the same shit with Thekla. See how Jamie Hayter's nowhere near where she was before? You're going to be doing the same shit with Thekla. Don't fuck this up. Let her cook.
What do you even do with Thekla at Allin? Like, this is the same point I tried to make with MJF. This woman has led your division all year, and right before the biggest show that you put on all year, you want to take the woman who's carried this division on her back in the absence of Toni Storm and Mercedes, and then risk not even putting her in a meaningful spot at Allin? I don't understand that.
You have 2 months to figure out a nice spot for her at Allin. We just skipped right over an entire pay-per-view. There's time. Allin is not next week.
I know. Well, my trust in the company, Jesse, is very low. That's why I say that. You know,
understandable.
Especially with the women's division.
Yeah, very valid. I get that. Don't get me wrong. So all hope is not lost for her to doing something very meaningful at Allin, but it can be, and they could easily fuck this up. And I hope they don't.
We'll see. Jesse's right. We shouldn't jump the gun, but knowing this company and this women's division, it's just like all over the fucking place. Post-match, Thekla laid out Nightingale with a spear in the ring. Lena Cross and Megan Bain attacked Julia Hart and Sky Blue on the ramp. With Thekla unaware, Thekla was about to take out Nightingale with the women's title when Mercedes blindsided Thekla with the Owen Hart title, and Nightingale got taken out as well. Mercedes was the one standing tall as Divine Dominion posed on the ramp. So is Mercedes now aligned with Divine Dominion?
Nah.
No?
Be a power struggle there. That doesn't fit. No.
Why not a triple threat? How many triple threat matches are we going to do? Thekla, Mercedes, and Willow. How many triple threat matches? We're already talking about wanting MJF and Omega with Ospreay in a triple threat. I talk about Fletcher, Takeshita, and Okada. Now we're going to do a women's triple threat too? No.
One of them's going to stick.
One of them's going to stick, yes.
One of them's going to fucking stick. One of them's going to happen, man.
Anyway, Willow wins, pins Julia Hart. She earns the match at Redemption against Thekla. We will wait to see what happens there. We get a video, and Excalibur throws us to a video package for Jungle Jack Perry, highlighting his time in AEW, saying he started here from day one and found his love here in Anna Jay. The biggest fear in his life is that he wouldn't live up to his potential. Footage of the Scapegoat days, the reunion of Jurassic Express, him attacking Tony Khan. Jack Perry says it's not enough just to be here. He wants to be the AEW World Champion. AEW is the place where he wants to be champion, and this is where the best wrestle. So they showed Jack Perry re-signing a contract extension with Tony Khan and AEW, and at the end of this segment, Jesse, he stabs a knife through the contract, and that's the way the vignette came to a close. So Jack Perry, they felt Jack Perry was big enough and important enough to dumb down the rumors of him being a free agent. They wanted to let everyone know here on Dynamite that he's staying with AEW.
That's fine. I mean, this was the best decision for him.
Yes.
You know, and since it's been around the rumor mills about his contract, I mean, why not make it a little vignette to throw on the show? It's fine.
I'm a Jack Perry fan. I've been a Jack Perry fan. Jack Perry, especially in the early days with Jurassic Express, he was a solid guy. But obviously, since the Punk stuff, he hasn't felt the same, and he's been trying to kind of land on his feet and kind of find his place. And then he came back with Luchasaurus, which I thought was the best move for him. And then Luchasaurus got hurt, and he hasn't been back yet. So hopefully they get back together, because this tag team division is about to be fucking on fire in the next 3 or 4 weeks. So hopefully they get back together. I think that's the best place for him. And like Jesse said, I do agree. This is probably the best place for Jack Perry. Otherwise, he would have went directly to NXT or worse. With CM Punk there and him having the power that he does there, I doubt Jack Perry would even be allowed in WWE. So this was probably the best career decision for him. Yeah. Renee was backstage with Speedball Mike Bailey, who said the Callis family has taken so much from him. It's time to take something from the Don Callis family. So Collision, he's challenging Mark Davis for the national title. This went off like a wet fart in church. Nobody cared. MJF, Kenny Omega, AEW World Title match. We got big ring introductions here from Justin Roberts. I don't know what MJF's gear was. What type of font and what type of inspired gear he had tonight. I don't know what it was. It looked very video game-like. It looked very Street Fighter-esque. I heard someone say on social media it was Bam Bam Bigelow inspired. I don't know if that's the case or not. But he had flames on his tights with the MJF kind of in the letters MJF in flames.
I don't even remember it. You spent way more time and attention to his underwear than I did. I have
bro,
no
it's
clue.
right on the screen. You're looking at them wrestling in their fucking underwear, bro. What are you talking about?
For $1 million, I could not point out the exact outfit he was wearing.
Did you see the wedgie that Kyle Fletcher got tonight, and you were not perturbed by that at all, to asking him to fix his fucking wrestling tights? You didn't see that?
Somebody mentioned this wedgie in chat, and that's what made me look at it. Before that, no. I'm being honest, man. It's not like I'm trying to actively not look at it. It just, like, my brain, I guess, is wired differently. I'm not focusing on his boots, his outfit. I couldn't tell you any of that shit if my life depended on it. You could tell my kids die right now, and you can put 3 fucking sets of trunks on the screen and say I have to pick out the ones he was wearing. I couldn't fucking do it. I'm not focusing on his outfit. I'm watching the wrestling. I mean, I don't know. It's just the way I'm wired or something. I couldn't tell you, man.
Well, if it's Bam Bam Bigelow inspired, MJF obviously has good taste. We love Bam Bam. So MJF handed Justin Roberts a piece of paper during his intro, saying he's not from filthy Florida. It is the land of racism and incest. He's the man who kicked out of the one-winged angel and will end Kenny Omega's legacy. The bell sounds, and they go right at it immediately. MJF goes right for Kenny Omega's throat. Omega hits a snap German early. He went for the one-winged angel early. MJF, though, grabbed the eyes and got out of it. He grabs the ropes then, and Bolt tumbled over to the outside with Omega hitting harder on the outside. I don't know if he hit splat on the concrete or if he hit some of the table. I don't know. They said he hit the table.
His legs hit the table.
Okay. That's what that sound was then. I thought it was just his back hitting splat on the concrete outside.
No, his legs hit the table pretty square. That's what made the loud sound.
So MJF then runs into the crowd. Omega is in hot pursuit. Fans clear out. MJF then gets launched into a bunch of chairs in the crowd. I'm very disappointed they didn't kind of travel to the beach and wrestle on the beach and maybe get some action in the ocean. But I don't know. MJF gets launched into some chairs in the fans. Back in the ring, Omega signals for a V-trigger. MJF pulled Bryce into the path of a V-trigger, allowing MJF to shoot a double leg and then start biting Omega. So MJF told the camera that he's moonwalking to Wembley, and whether you like it or not. So Omega then dodged a heat seeker attempt. MJF is going for a slingshot cutter. He nails it, 2 count. So he takes over. He went for another heat seeker. Omega escaped. He went up the ramp where he sent MJF headfirst into the lifeguard chair that was on the stage that Mercedes was sitting in just a little bit ago. Omega climbed the top, and he hits a big moonsault off of the lifeguard tower. So that was a cool spot. He landed in the sand, and everybody gave him a standing ovation. Back in the ring, Omega up top, and he hits a big drop kick. He sends MJF back outside. MJF is in position for the Terminator dive. Omega hits it. Back in the ring, he hits a big Kotaro crusher. And then MJF, he gets back into it. Drop toe hold. He avoids a V-trigger. He misses a charge into a Snapdragon. Both are going back and forth. Double clothesline. Both guys are down. They ended up going for the same move. So we'll pick it up here. MJF is on the outside. He clears the announce table. He wanted a tombstone off the apron. Now, the announce table was very close to the ring apron, so a tombstone off the apron would have been an ideal spot here where the table was. But Omega fell back into the ring, so he avoided the tombstone. So he fought back with a big charging V-trigger. That launched MJF off the ring apron, and he went head first into the commentary table. I swear to God, I got flashbacks from Undertaker and Mick Foley. I don't know what show it was that. Maybe someone in the chat could tell me. I remember the Undertaker Mick Foley match at King of the Ring. I think it was King of the Ring 98 or 99. I think it was one of them. I don't remember what it was, but he went head first into the commentary table. So
98.
So that was a great spot. MJF took a fucking nasty spill there. So they go to a commercial break. We come back from the break. Omega went for the one-winged angel on the apron. MJF raked the eyes to get free. It was 1998 Boilermaker. Thank you. You can't escape attempt by Kenny Omega, who hits the first part of it, but MJF got the knees up on a moonsault off the guardrail. He then picked up Omega. He went for another tombstone, and he delivered a tombstone on a steel chair that was already propped up in the seated position. So we go back inside. MJF missed the heat seeker. He jammed his knee. Omega was going for another V-trigger, but collapsed. He attempted a charge, and he collapsed again. Omega exploded out of nowhere with a V-trigger. MJF fought off another one-winged angel. Omega transitions into more V-triggers. They go back up top on the top rope. Omega wanted an avalanche one-winged angel. MJF countered this, thankfully, and he turned it into a fucking nasty poison Rana. Just dropped, MJF dropped Omega on his head. Then he followed that up with a heat seeker. And how that didn't end the match, I have no fucking idea. Omega kicks out of it too. So MJF rolls to the outside. He grabbed the AEW World title in frustration. He brought it back into the ring. Bryce Remsburg caught MJF with the title. He took it away. MJF then went to his tights. He pulled out the Dynamite Diamond ring. Will Ospreay sprinted out and pulled the Dynamite Diamond ring out of MJF's hands. So Bryce and MJF's now, with Bryce and MJF's attention turned, Omega picked up the championship and was about to use it on MJF and legitimately cheat to win. So if they wanted to go this route and have MJF get nailed with the title, it would have set up a rematch. It would have set up a rematch because MJF could cry to Tony Khan and cry to management that he got cheated out of a title victory here. So
he's involved though. I mean, so can you understand why everybody's screaming triple threat? Because these three men are clearly intertwined.
Yeah, I get it, but it's less likely now with MJF kind of losing here with the way everything transpired at the end. If anything, it sets up an Ospreay MJF match at Redemption.
It's pro wrestling, bro. You know they'll fucking finagle some shit.
I don't know, maybe, but
you know they do MJF and Ospreay at Redemption. Stipulation: if I win, I'm in the all in match.
I'm sorry, Jesse. The Chris Nearfall podcast says it was Revenge of the Taker 97 with the Foley table spot head first. Okay, thank you, bro. You got it, Jesse.
So it's they can easily finagle some shit. They got a pay-per-view to get to before All In. Easy.
I hope so. We'll see. But MJF drops to his knees. He's begging Omega not to hit him. So Omega was about to use the title. Tossed the title aside. MJF completely just low-blowed him and belt shot. Omega kicks out at a 1. MJF was shocked. He looked like The Undertaker after tombstoning Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25. He thought it was over. Ospreay included, shocked. So he stayed watching the end of the match. Omega lit up MJF with some strikes, 3 V-triggers, 1 winged angel, 1, 2, 3, new world champion. Kenny Omega wins. The All-In graphic showed Omega Ospreay. I mean, if they already showed the graphic, I think Tony Khan already has his mind made up. That's basically it. So that's the match for Wembley right now. Either that, I hope that MJF's involved in some way. We'll see. I doubt it. You know, Tony Khan needed to get a main event announced. He needed to get a match announced because the ticket sales are really bad for this show. So hopefully that does what he wants it to do. But the graphic show abruptly went off the air. We didn't even get Omega celebrating. And that was it. They hastily went off the air, and Kenny Omega's the new AEW World Champion.
Omega celebrating is posted up on the YouTube channel.
Okay. There you go. Yeah.
With the pay-per-view coming up in between, I feel like there's plenty of room and plenty of space to not have the main event etched in stone. But again, I don't have all of the information, sir.
You don't.
No.
I will fill you in on that when we get out of here. But that's Dynamite. Again, I don't really want to rant and rave about how I feel about MJF losing the championship. I wouldn't have done it. You know, everyone's crying triple threat match. It makes less sense now. It would have made sense if MJF was walking into All In as the champion. It makes less sense now because we know he's not winning the championship back. If anything, I think we can all agree that if MJF was to lose the championship, it should have been at Wembley to Will Ospreay. Whether it was a one-on-one match or a triple threat match, at least at that point, Ospreay would have gotten what he wanted to wrestle Omega, which he said publicly he would prefer that match because that's what he wanted. He said that in his promos, and he said that via story. We would have gotten that, and we would have gotten MJF in the match. Triple threat match would have been the best way for everybody to be happy, but we're not going there. So now what is MJF going to do? Like Jesse said, is he injured? Is he not going to be at Wembley? I find it very hard to believe he's not going to be at Wembley, being that he's the biggest star they have. I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Man.
We will see. But thank you guys very much for all your supports. If you did enjoy tonight's stream, please hit that thumbs up. Super chats are open. Every $10 you guys donate to the stream, you will be on the wheel Friday. We're gonna spin a big wheel Friday. You're gonna win some prizes. So thank you guys for that. That'll be a recurring theme until I get rid of some of this merchandise I do not want anymore because I want to make more new merchandise. So you guys will get some free shit. So thank you guys very much for that. I appreciate everybody. Hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. And let's get into these super chats because I'd like to get some Destiny time in before I go to sleep. So
that reminds me, I got a graphics designer.
You got a graphics designer?
A graphics t-shirt designer.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm about to have some stuff printed up myself, man.
There you go. That's very cool.
Yes, sir. I already got a logo and everything.
Nice. Go follow Jesse on Twitter, on YouTube, at Chi-Town Smart. And make sure you guys go check out all the content on the channel. Plenty of it. We did Monday Night Raw, Tuesday Night Titans, 2 Count with the Coach. And then we did a video today on CM Punk. So go check that out. Now let's start at the top here. Caden with a 199. No message. Thank you, Caden. Michael Krause. Only second in line tonight, bro. Caden beat you. $2 super chat. Tap room is open. OTS, let's go. Yeah. Absolutely. Get in on that Patreon stuff, man. We're going to be doing some more classic SummerSlam match reviews as we get closer to SummerSlam. DW Hurd with a $10 super chat. Hey, to OTS family. Finally, we're back from the 4th of July weekend. 2 before the 4th. Had to put down my 16-year-old Shih Tzu. He turned 16 this past April and died on the 2nd. He lived a wonderful life. I miss him. My thoughts and prayers with you, brother.
That sucks, man.
My thoughts and prayers with you, man. I'm coming up on July 24th. Bacardi passing away 2 years ago, man. It's still fucking... It still gets me, man. I think about her every day, man. They're never going to leave you, bro.
No.
Never. JM Beer with a 14 months. Hey, JD Jesse, remember when wrestling was fun to watch in both companies? Seems like an eternity ago. AEW in 21, you'll forever be missed. Tanmay with a 7.99. Why does always book Takeshita like a joke? Why does AEW always book Takeshita like a joke? I don't get that sense. Tanmay. Takeshi's one of the more legit guys there. Could he be booked better? Sure. I don't think he's booked like a joke.
Right. I agree.
Joey Taylor with a $10 super chat. Joey Taylor gets a spot on the wheel. JD Jesse, I know you guys are a fan of Thekla, but her shtick of saying bitch and she got fired from Stardom is getting very old very fast, just like Tony Storm as timeless.
It was last week.
You have a problem with her saying bitch, bro?
Oh my God, bro. This fan base, I swear.
Joey Taylor, thank you, brother. Jesse does not agree. Chicago 4 MBK with a $5 super chat. Best thing about women's Gauntlet was Thekla on commentary. Mina should be a blow-up doll, she says. Was Willow even injured, she says. Thekla is the female MJF. That's a high compliment there. Thank you, Chicago. Rick from Colorado, 303, $9.99. Was Thekla shoot drunk? Maybe.
I wouldn't say she was drunk. She was probably a little bit buzzed.
Also, first time watching Mina Shirakawa. Holy booba cannons, Batman. JD, not only did you hold your own against BTT and Vince Russo, you had facts to back it up. Not stats from 25 years ago. Thank you, brother. Solomonster even said I held a very good argument against Vince Russo. That's a high compliment there.
There you go.
Sylvester Dog with the new membership. Thank you, Sylvester. What the fuck are you drinking, brother? Tribal Chief, 35 months. JD Jesse, AW sucks, but great main event. I have to admit, OTS for life, pal. Tonight was a good show, Tribal Chief. I disagree with the ending and the outcome, but it was a good show. Keith Hobson with a 27 months. Personally, I'm just waiting for the incoming rant. MJF should have won and have him lose the title in a three-way, but what do I know? OTS for life. I agree. I think that's what we both have said should be the best case scenario here. Hoyt with a new membership. Thank you, Hoyt. Brandon with a $5 super chat. Men's King of the Ring and Women's Owen. Who wrote them? What was the point of taking Willow off TV, drop the title, leave the Owen, either her or Thekla lose to Mercedes? I don't know, brother. Like Jesse said, everything's all over the place.
It's all over.
Lavelle with a $5 super chat. Unprecedented that both WWE and AEW World Champs crowned in the same week. Any chance TK did it to one-up WWE and Punk? Which title change was better? The Punk one was better because it was in Chicago. Chicago's my favorite pro wrestling city to watch and to see them react. And you can't beat Punk in Chicago. I mean, even Jesse can probably admit that. You can't beat Punk in Chicago. You can't. Yeah, do I think TK did it to one up? Not totally. I didn't think he did it with, oh my God, I got to beat them. But it was an added incentive for him. Chicago 4 MBK with a $2 super chat. Having MJF drop the title again was dumb. I agree. Hollywood guy with a $5 super chat. This might not happen in WWE or AEW, but they need to have a show on top of a roof, like WCW did with Hogan versus the Giant. LOL. And who's going to be up there? That's a liability for fans, don't you think? Having a show on a roof.
Don't listen.
Patriots.
Stupidity.
What happened?
Don't listen to stupidity, man.
Patriots 92-10. You got a spot on the wheel, brother. Hopefully MJF losing the title means he might be going to WWE by the end of the year. No, he's not going to WWE by the end of the year. No. I think he'll be with AEW into next year. What he does, I don't know. David with a new membership. Thank you, David. Mark Carpenter. He gets 2 spots on the wheel with a $20 super chat. I commend the women. They clearly put a lot of thought into their matches, but the choreographed spots and standing awkwardly waiting for what's next is happening is ruining wrestling. Go Braves. Yeah, I don't like it. I see that a lot with Jade Cargill matches. I see that a lot with Nia Jax matches too, and Lash Legend.
You're watching some really bad matches.
Yeah, a lot of these women's matches are just really bad. Colin Hutton with a 58 months. Look at this guy. Why does AEW look like it's trying to overshadow CM Punk winning the WWE title on Monday with Kenny Omega winning the AEW Championship tonight?
Because JD put that out there in the universe.
I said it was. I didn't say it was the absolute 100% reason he did it.
Yep.
It was certainly a cherry on top for him.
This is why tribalism will never go away in this community. Ever.
Did you expect anything less of me, bro? You knew I was going to bring that to the table.
Yeah. I really did.
Triple M, what's up, brother? $10 super chat. He gets a spot on the wheel. Don't disrespect my goat Jesse or the fire team dropping the smoke. Anyways, we farm and witness tomorrow. Let's get it. Put me on that wheel, JD. Also, I wish I had Iron Banner armor for Arc Hunter build, bro. I got them all. I played nothing but Iron Banner last week. Nothing.
I told him to fucking do better.
I got both sets, bro.
I told him.
The PvE and the PvP set. Tone VC with a $10. Yes, I'll be around tomorrow. I should be on. I just ordered myself a new computer chair. I got a Secret Lab Atlas. Get a new chair coming tomorrow. Got to get some better back support, bro. My back is hurting.
Oh.
Tone VC with a 10. You get a spot on the wheel, brother. Just got home from seeing 6 Feet Under and Cataclysm. It was hot, sweaty, and loud. Had a blast. Bro, 6 Feet Under is not the same band. Chris Barnes is terrible now. And Cataclysm, I didn't even know they were still together. David Rice. He gets a spot on the wheel. $10 super chat. I'm going with a triple threat at Allin. Have MJF go over in a way where Ospreay and Omega have conflict afterward. Then book Omega and Ospreay, which will eventually get you to MJF versus Ospreay. I'm confused. How does that work? I could see MJF and Ospreay at Redemption. I don't know who Omega's defending the title against. But how do we get to a triple threat match? Have MJF go over in a way where Ospreay and Omega have conflict afterward. Then book Omega and Ospreay, which will eventually get you to MJF versus Ospreay. They got 2 weeks to fill us in, bro. I don't know what they're doing. Yeet. LMAO with a $4.99. For Tony Khan's actions tonight, put him in the match. Make it a fatal 4-way. Then everyone go against him. Put him through tables and all that. I don't want to see Tony on screen ever again. David Rice with another 10. Another spot on the wheel, David. Thank you. There is more drawing potential in MJF versus Ospreay as opposed to Ospreay and Omega. MJF has lost the title way too many times on TV right now. MJF is their top guy. Ospreay can't talk them in like MJF. 100%. 100%. Which is why I don't understand these fucking sickos. They're going to bend over backwards to fucking suck Tony Khan's dick from every which angle. MJF and Ospreay is the bigger match compared to Ospreay and Omega. 100%. Street Fighter with $5 super chat. He says, how you know? How you know? Michael Krause with a $2 super chat. How you know? All gas, no brakes with it. Yeah. Francis Liu with a $2 super chat. Redemption is like a transitional PPV. Also, with a 5, Francis. Instead of 7 weeks to build to All In after Forbidden Door with Creative, Tony will start building All In 3 weeks before the pay-per-view with nothing matches. More than likely. More than likely. He did that last year. Lone Crusader with a $5 super chat. What do you think of Sheeta's promo video tonight? You skipped over it, and I was curious about your thoughts on it. Why do you think I skipped over it? Nobody gives a fuck. I said it last night on TNT. Jason was like, well, now you're just putting the fucking tinfoil hat on. I asked him, and I said verbatim, Jason, who was the women's champion the last time Kenny Omega was the world champion? He knew immediately. He said Hikaru Shida. I'm like, there you go. There you go, man. She's the what? She's the TBS champion, and now Kenny Omega's the world champion. Man, what a coincidence that is, huh? Chris Nearfall podcast with 47 months. 47 months in this fine establishment. I have an amazing wrestling memory. So if you need any wrestling reminders when it comes to WWF, WWE, I'm your guy. There you go. Appreciate that, Chris. Don Stoney with a $5 super chat. Shout out to Don Tony, Wrestling Soup, Spitball Media, and as fucking always, R.I.P. Kevin Castle. Absolutely. I guarantee you Kevin would probably have a similar feeling to what happened tonight. No doubt about it. And Chicago 4MBK with a $2 super chat. All Out is in Chicago on September 26th. Yes, it is. I will be there. I will be there that Friday, literally the day before his House of Glory. Literally the day before House of Glory. I believe it's going to be at Logan Square Auditorium again. So that is all we got. That is all we got. I'm going to leave it to Jesse. Anything you want to add before I fire up the Dark Horse here?
No, man. Let's get on out of here, man.
He has nothing to say. Jesse has nothing to say.
I'm done, man.
All right. Thank you guys very much for all your support. If you did enjoy tonight's stream, you guys know what to do. Hit that thumbs up. Leave a comment down below. Check out the Patreon page, patreon.com/JD from NY206. Join us over there, man. We're doing some SummerSlam Classic match reviews. So join us over there. It's going to be a good time. Follow us on social media at JD from NY206, at Chi-Town Smart. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Cameo. Also Patreon, like I mentioned. Jesse's on Twitter and on YouTube at Chi-Town Smart. You guys can find him. I linked his channel down below in the description. Go check out all the content. We did something on CM Punk today. Is it CM Hogan? Is he a hypocrite? Jesse says yes. In this case, I don't think he's a hypocrite. He's a full-time... No. No. Just in general. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. I could see people's arguments there. But in this case, people are calling him a hypocrite. He is not. He's also not Hulk Hogan. So go watch today's video. There's a lot of cool stuff there. We talk about... He also doesn't book the show, and he can't help it that WWE's got just as many tickets to sell as AEW for their SummerSlam show as AEW has Wembley. They are not even at 28,000 tickets for either night. Cody and CM Punk for the WWE title will probably put them over where they need to be. It's a big match. It's the biggest match that they can do. So go check that out. And anything else you might have missed. I was with Coach on Tuesday morning with the 2 count. Tuesday Night Titans. You guys know the deal. So thank you guys very much. Had a great time tonight. Really great discussion here. We'll see what AEW does moving on into Redemption. And we got you covered right here on Off the Script. We'll see you guys later.